winner of this event from last year already swam this afternoon, Joe.
Oh.
And she's gone ahead and set it up for us. There's a couple of them. But the girls that are seated here now, we'll let Dave.
Real quick, let me tell you who's also. Peyton Quattlebaum will be lined up in lane 1, unattached swimmer. Morgan Tankersley from Greater Tampa in lane 2. Lindsey Stone from Pac Swim Team of Pittsburgh in lane 3. Joy Field from Magnolia Aquatic Club in 4. Isabella Rangioni in 5 from Nation's Capital Swim Club. Magnolia Aquatic Club's going to have Caitlin Sims in 6. City of Mobile will have Paige Madden lined up for them in lane 7. And rounding out this heat's going to have Aaron Early from Hopkins Mariner Swim Team.
And this is an event, unlike the 50, Dave, where we can again have Olympic trial qualifiers. Right. Of course, the 50s are the strokes, flyback, and breast, not in the Olympic Games. There are people trying to put them in, but this 800 is one distance event in the pool for the women. The men have the 1500. And you know why that is?
And we're going to see that later on this evening, too.
Do you know why the men have the 15 and the women have the 8?
Go ahead.
You have a guess? Joe, do you know? Could you tell us?
No, I can't tell you.
I can tell you as these ladies get underway, and certainly we'll be watching the splits, but believe it or not, back in the day, they used to think that women were the weaker sex.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to bring it up, okay? Because I know my wife will probably be watching.
As a swim coach, we certainly know that is not true.
Not true at all.
The ladies, Dave, tend to hold their times in practice much closer to their performance times on a fairly regular basis. Not that there's not guys that can do it too, but you know, this group here, these ladies are, a number of them chasing after the Olympic trial standard.
And they're pretty darn, just girls are tough in general.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just in practice, the length of the practice, at the end of the practice, guess who's still doing pretty good? The girls.
Absolutely.
The guys,
I've found the
acidosis or something.
I think it has something to do with that childbearing.
Guys, real quick, let's get the update. The 100 splits, 102.59. That's going to be early over in lane 8. And then jump over Fields holding that second position in lane 4. I know the race is still early, and Stone holding that third position down. 103 flat.
Early, did you say that? Dave, did you say Early was leading early?
Early was leading early.
Okay, well that's good. Now, as we talked about this afternoon's events, the fastest young lady, Joe, you have pulled up on your computer, was Megan Burns from Nation Capital, and she went 8:48.
Hey, that's pretty good. That'll place. That'll be top 8.
It'll definitely place. I mean, it's going to be right there with the best of them.
And it looks like right now you're going to see Field in the middle of the screen is now moved into that second position, but everybody's still trying to give chase to Early. Bottom of your screen there in lane 8 as we get ready now to have the 200 splits.
Well, Joy Field, another one of our Texas swimmers. We get a big support from the Gulf area. Is that not Magnolia Aquatic Club, right?
She's going to move into that first position. 2:08.84 is her 200 split. Stone holding second. Rangioni now moves into that third position. Joe, that's a name that we've heard several times this week.
Rangioni's been good for a very long time, and you know, do you think she's fully rested for this meet?
I don't know for a fact, but my gut would tell me no.
Yeah.
I know when I talk to the coaches from NCAP, they have very few that are really all the way down, and it's an Olympic year.
Sure.
It's just what you have to do with your best kids. The kids that don't have a cut, or maybe have one cut and trying to get 2 or 3 more, yeah, you can be shaved and rested, and they might even shave the other ones on a shorter rest. But
so how would you tell a swimmer to swim the 800?
Well, different swimmers have different strengths, but one
sounds
thing,
like the other night.
Yes.
most of the distance-oriented athletes do like to get into that rhythm and that groove, and certainly these top 3 ladies are doing just that.
So at the 400 mark here and 100, we'll know kind of what's going to happen. I think they'll turn. You'll see a strategy change, in my opinion, with a couple of them anyway.
Well, that negative split strategy, Joe, that became so famous when Mark Schubert was coaching in Mission Viejo back in the 80s, and a lot of people were, hey, you have to back half your race. And people would back half the 200, but certainly the 400, the 800, the mile, they would make an intentional commitment at the halfway mark to make the second half faster of a distance event. We do it in training all the time. A lot of coaches utilize that technique. Some swimmers are better suited to do that than others. And I think a lot of it is mental, too. You have to have a lot of confidence. You have to be able to really know. And Terry Maul had a great swimmer in this pool win the junior nationals named Collis Williams.
Oh, I remember him, of course. He's my era.
Unbelievable. And he didn't quite negative split that 1,000. He had a 300 easy, and I thought he was going to stop. And then a 500 unbelievable. And his last 200 just crushed it.
So
guys,
where are they, Dave?
We're at the halfway point right now. Phil's still going to be your leader. 4:20.61 is her halfway point. Rangione now has moved into that second position. Stone in lane 3 holding third. So all the action right now is right there in the middle of the pool. As you see, Phil now is probably opening up just a smidgen. But here comes Rangione trying to reel her back in.
Well, you see, those are the only two girls, Dave, that are under 33 seconds on that lap. 32.7 and 32.8 for lanes 4 and 5. And they're going to try and get away. And there they are again, 32.4 and 32.5. Everybody else is 33.4 and higher.
Well, if you remember Rangione coming home in that 400 IM the other night, that was like a freight train.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
That was fast. So she's got the power.
Keep a close look out over in lane number 7. Is this going to be Paige Madden?
Oh, and she's
is slowly
fast.
starting to now pick up the pace a little bit. She dropped down to 32 going out.
Good call, very good call seeing that one, because 32.7. Paige came home in a minute point in her 400.
She's holding to 32 again.
Last 50. That was a crazy.
And you know, and it's a very common, very smooth, easy stroke. It kind of sneaks up on you. I mean, you go, oh, she's just looking like, but you know what?
City
She's
of
got
Mobile.
power.
And she's going off to Auburn next year. I know that. She's got a great program at City of Mobile, and excited to be making the move right up the road to the Southeastern Conference powerhouse. But they haven't beaten the Gators the last few years. And we're talking men's swimming now, Joe.
Yeah.
4 years in a row for the Gators.
Wow.
It's good.
I think, yeah, that's, and you know, it's only getting better.
32.8 for Paige. She's in 4th place. 32.6 and 32.9 would be Joy and Isabella.
And you see Rangione, she's hugging that lane line, trying to get everything she can.
Sure is.
Here we go, 600.
But
600 splits coming up, and it's going to be field still 630.67. Rangione holding second. Let's see if, nope, yep. Paige Madden moves into that third position, still holding 32, guys, with a 6:35.45.
Yep, and Paige actually had the fastest 50. Isabella just fell off a little bit there. Joy saw a chance to break her, and it appears that's what she's doing. You know, that distance you can see on your screen.
Trying to break the tether.
Once there's like a fair amount of clear water, you don't get the draft, and you also don't get that psychological, yeah, I'm still with her.
So, Sid, you won the 200, the 500, the mile at the ACC Championship a few times. Which one do you like the best?
Well, the mile was always the most fun, Joe, in terms of strategy and having. I used to like to play music in my head, and I would kind of change the channel about every 500.
Actually,
I did literally do that. But I think that, here we go. Here comes the bell.
Bell laps coming on. Field now, final 100 left to go. 7:35.85 the 700 split. She's still holding those 32s, guys.
Nobody's catching her.
she may go 8:39 if she can get home.
Yep. Yep, and you saw Isabella there in lane 5. She sees Paige coming on. Those two girls will finish strong, but much too strong a lead for Joy Field.
So when we're talking about Olympic team, you know, Ledecky, if barring any sickness, she's gonna be on the team. What's it gonna take to get the second? 8:20, 8:23 in there?
Boy, I wouldn't even begin to guess, Joe, because never underestimate what happens at Olympic trials. Every time there's somebody who pops out from somewhere you don't know anything about. And that's really what Ledecky did last time.
That's true. That's true.
And here we go. They're coming underneath the flags, and right now it's going to be Field. Field's going to be your leader. She goes underneath the flags, and Field goes into the wall. And congratulations, she's going to take first 8:40.18. Second's going to be Rongioni with an 8:43.83. And Paige Madden's going to round it out with an 8:46.23.
And that's a great swim for all three of those young ladies. You know, they held on, and I know in Paige's case, you know, maybe not as much intensity there as the 400, but you see Morgan Tankersley over in lane 5. She swims a 50 to the mile, almost a local swimmer from Tampa. 8:52 is a fine swim.
You can see she's a very happy Miss Field. Congratulations to Joy Field. As you can see, they're all the results.
Absolutely.
And guess what, Sid? I know you and I are up here in the box. That means somebody is roving the pool deck, and that'd be Joe.